Good morning, WW Robinson. Today is January 4th, 2019, and I have Tristan here with me. How are you, Tristan? And it's Friday. You just came back and it's Friday. Are you excited? I'm not gonna lie, me too. All right, I'm not sad that it is Friday. It is day 7 in our rotation, and tell us about the best lunch ever today, Tristan.
Asian chicken chunks, oven fries, red beans and rice, peaches, choice of juice, breadstick, and choice of
All right, woohoo! My favorite. And we have Bailey here this morning to tell us about the weather. Bailey, come on over here. Come on. I'll hold this so we can see your face. What is the weather today?
Cloudy.
It is cloudy, and it was really cold this morning, wasn't it? There was frost on the cars, wasn't there? Yes, thank you, Bailey. And we have Wesley here to lead us in the pledge, so please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good job. Thank you, Wesley. Please join me for a moment of silence. Thank you. All right. We have an announcement from Mr. Perry, and it says chorus practice is on Tuesday. So that is next week on Tuesday. We have some birthdays, celebrating a birthday today. We have Oliver Green and Michael Minnick. And on Saturday, we have Matthew Suffolcool. I hope I said that right. And Lane Orball on Sunday. So happy birthday to those folks. Hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. And we also have some staff birthdays. Celebrating a birthday today is Miss Wetzel in 3rd grade. And celebrating on Sunday is Miss S. George in 2nd grade. So happy birthday to those folks. If you see them, wish them a happy birthday. And I believe that Ms. Orndorff has a message, so you can slide in my seat and let her join you.
Good morning, WWR. I wanted to let everybody know that the Science Fair is coming up in a couple weeks. You heard yesterday about STEM Night. Science Fair is also going on that day, Thursday, January 24th. For those of you that signed up, this just checking in form should have gone home with you before winter break. This is just to see if you are still doing a project. If you've decided that you can't get it done in time, there's a spot for you to tell me maybe next year. It's not going to happen this year. If you still want to sign up for the Science Fair, you can. I had a couple of people ask me over winter break. Some parents emailed me, and so we have 3 or 4 more participants. And it is not too late to sign up. Science Fair packets are outside my door, and extras of this sheet will be outside my door if you still want to do Science Fair. If you did not get this sheet, you can also pick up one outside my door, and this will let me know what your project is all about. So that's all I have.
All right, sounds exciting. Can't wait to see what all the projects are that people do. All right, do you have any shout outs this morning before we read?
Mr. Lawrence class, Miss Henry's class, Miss Warner's class, and Vincent Charity, Miss Goodman.
All right. So let's see. Finally, I got so tired of Billy, I race walked through the hall before school to make sure I got to class and sat down in my chair before he arrived. This was when Billy started drawing on the back of my neck. We already read that part. Okay, luckily, even though Billy is stronger than me, I'm smarter. I have 2 class schedules memorized, mine and his. And even though we had the same teacher last year, this year we don't. I even dropped band because Billy was taking it too. I had a nightmare over the summer where he locked me in a tuba case. But the real danger, of course, is not in the classroom where the teachers are around. The real danger is in the hallways and bathrooms. It took me a week of serious recon work to figure out when it would be safe for me to use the bathroom. Billy tends to go to the bathroom a lot, before class starts, after lunch, and sometimes after school. I spent an entire night mapping out the best ways to avoid him in the hallways, based on where his locker is and his favorite bathroom. All that work paid off. I mostly get through my days without a Billy Thompson sighting. Anyways, that's why it was so weird to see Billy on that particular day, because he wasn't where he was supposed to be, which was not near me. I do remember debating whether to turn around and make a run for it. Then I noticed he wasn't scanning the hallway, looking to see who he could pick on next. He had already found his victim of the day. I didn't recognize the kid because he had his back to me, but he was about my size, and instead of carrying a backpack, he had a laptop case on wheels. Oh, that was definitely not a good choice for him or anyone who wasn't an accountant, a computer programmer, or any businessman who travels a lot for work. I wonder if he was the new kid in school I had overheard Penny Bakerson talking about that morning. Penny Bakerson has this very grating, high-pitched voice that pierces your eardrum. Even when you want to shout out what her big mouth was saying, it's hard. Even when you want to shut out what her big mouth is saying, it's hard. I hope that since Billy and his band of thugs had already had a victim, it was safe to continue on my way. I turned my head, pretending to read the banner hanging on the wall about the school bake sale. I also put my hand in my pocket and took out my lucky titanium lug nut. It's an actual lug nut from an actual rocket that actually went to the moon. My dad brought it home from work for me when I was 5 years old, and he told me there is only one of these particular size lug nuts in the entire rocket ship, and it was specially made for a particular vent near the engine. It was my mom who later translated my dad's techno nerd speak. She said the lug nut was an example of how small things can sometimes play a big part in huge endeavors. My response to this was, huh? So then my mom told me that without this titanium lug nut, the rocket ship wasn't going anywhere. She said it was a metaphor about me being premature and tiny, and that what my dad was trying to say was that my whole family wouldn't work right without me. And my response to this was, huh? And my mom said it means my dad loves me, and I'd understand the deeper meaning when I was older. Basically, the titanium lug nut was something cool I should show my friends. She put a leather string on it so I wouldn't lose it. I actually won my first blue ribbon when I was with it when I told my kindergarten class what my dad said. Yes, that's right. I won the vote that day for best show and tell. It was only later I realized that during the course of the year, every kid in the class eventually won a ribbon, but I did win mine first, which I still feel means something. Anyway, so it's been my good luck charm ever since. I always carry it around with me. I pull it out of my pocket whenever I see Billy Thompson. Maybe it doesn't really help me, but for all I know, things could be even worse without it. So when I pulled the lug nut out of my pocket on that day, I saw Billy turn the new kid's laptop case upside down over his head. All the kids' papers, books, pencils, whatnot came showering around him, graph paper flying everywhere. I felt bad for the kid. I really, really did. But at the same time, I also felt a tiny bit relieved that it wasn't me. And then I felt guilty for feeling relieved it wasn't me. That kid didn't deserve to get picked on by Billy any more than I deserved it. Then I panicked. What if Billy spotted me and thought of me as the main course after a delicious appetizer of new kid on a cracker? I felt lightheaded and whispered to myself, please don't see me, please don't see me, please don't see me. And after that, I don't remember a thing until I woke up in the hospital. I know it sounds freaky to wake up in a hospital, and I'm sure it is for most kids, but another thing you should know about me, I'm not most kids. When I hear my mom's friends talk about me, they sometimes call me sickly or poor dear. But what I hear most often is special. They even say it in a voice like they're using air quotes. This is because I happen to get sick a lot. You name it, and I've had it. Flu, bronchitis, upper respiratory infection, pneumonia, asthma attack, bladder infection, allergies, foot stuck in pickle jar. How do you get your foot stuck in a pickle jar? itchy head, hamster bite that got infected, weird rashes, twitchy eyes, laryngitis, kickball in the face, spider bite, fell in the bathtub, fell out of bed, fell out of a car. It wasn't moving. Relax. Unexplained swollen big toe. I've spent 300 plus days in the hospital over the last 10 years for 4 months and 15 days of my life. I know 300 days sounds like a lot. It's almost an entire year of my life. Like I said before, I was born super premature. So I spent the first 4 months of my life at the hospital. So that's why the number is so high. I was kind of hoping they'd just go ahead and name the pediatric floor of the hospital after me. The Benji Wendell Barnsworth Wing. Sounds pretty good, huh? But apparently you have to be super rich and give money to get stuff named after you. So when I grow up and get super rich, I'm going to give money to this hospital and name it after some kid who's stuck there all the time, just like me. But truth be told, the hospital isn't so bad, mainly because I have Dino's punch card. Dino's is my favorite nurse. He made me a hospital punch card like they have at frozen yogurt places. Buy 10 yogurts and get the 11th free. So after I have 10 hospital visits, I get a cool prize. For my last prize, Dino took me up to a different floor, one where he said all the patients were heavily medicated and wouldn't hear us if we got too loud. And we got to race wheelchairs down the hall. So when I opened my eyes and saw the fluorescent overhead lights, my first thought was the punch card. Then I heard my mom shriek, "Benji, my baby, you are awake. Can you hear me?" "Hey, Mom, did Dino punch my card yet?" I asked. Here's what you need to know about my mom. She's blonde, she's got big hair, and she's loud. She tells people that she was a bear in her former life because she likes to eat, she likes to sleep, and if you threaten any of her cubs, she'll hunt you down and mess you up. So needless to say, she's not as mellow as I am whenever I end up in the hospital. She cries, she yells, she prays, she buys a bunch of candy bars from the gift shop and stuffs them in her purse and will pull one out as needed for herself or try to bribe the nurse. Dino says that dealing with my mom makes him think about requesting a transfer to the morgue where it's nice and quiet. She didn't answer my question because she was too busy kissing me all over my face. Oh goodness, I was so worried about you. And if you ever scare me again like this, I'll kill you. Somehow I managed to push her away, but it wasn't easy. She's strong and I'm not. There's a reason I get picked last in dodgeball. Weak arms. Given the fact that I wake up in a hospital on a semi-regular basis, we've established some routines to keeping it from getting boring. Lately, we've been playing the game where she pretends she's a game show host and I'm a contestant, and I guess what landed me in the hospital for a chance to win a fabulous cash and prizes. If I guess right on the first try, I get $20. Second try, banana split. Third try, a comic book. Okay, I'm going to have to go with allergies. I started. Out of nowhere, I received another 10 kisses all over my face. Mom, stop it. What was that for? What? A mom can't kiss her baby? I'm not your baby. I'm a contestant and my first guess is allergies. Oh, honey, let's not play this today. But don't you worry. Daddy's picking you up a banana split with caramel and hot fudge. He's also bringing an entire jar of cherries. An entire jar of cherries? My mom thinks those maraschino cherries are disgusting and gross. So much so that I had never even heard of one or even seen one until a year or so ago. Then last year, my dad took my twin, 14-year-old brothers, and me out to Benihana when my mom was away. It was so crowded we had to wait for a table. I was sitting at the bar when the bartender smiled at me and handed me a cherry. I popped it in my mouth without a moment's hesitation. Now that I think about it, I clearly disobeyed one of my parents' 10 commandments. Thou shalt not eat anything offered to you by a stranger. But come on, I was at Benihana, and nothing really bad ever happens at Benihana. That cherry was pretty much love at first bite. Maraschino cherries quickly became my favorite thing in the world, much to my mother's annoyance. And we will stop there for today. So you can choose to be the kind of leader that you would follow and make it a great day. So long.